You have been with a Bangkok girl, maybe more than one, and you walked away thinking it went well. It did not go as well as you think. Bangkok women do not give reviews. They just do not come back. Today, I am going to tell you exactly what she noticed and never said. Before we continue, please subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any videos in the future. 1. You rushed the beginning, and she clocked it in the first minute. The first thing you got wrong is that you rushed the beginning, and she clocked it in the first minute. Bangkok women use the first few minutes as a calibration tool. The pace you move at tells her something she cannot learn from your words or your money or anything you did before that moment. Speed signals that you are managing an outcome, not experiencing a person. It tells her you have a destination in mind, and she is the route, not the reason. In a city where women have genuine options and have been through enough cycles of the same dynamic, the man who slows down is already the rare one. She has been with enough men in a hurry. That is not a compliment to those men, and it will not be a compliment to you if you move at the same speed. Rushing reads as anxiety, wearing the costume of confidence. She wants to feel chosen carefully, not efficiently processed. Think about what you were actually communicating in those first moments. You probably thought moving quickly showed desire, or that she would read it as enthusiasm. She did not read it that way. She filed it under "this is all he came for," and her presence dropped by half. Not her body. Her presence. There is a difference, and you felt it even if you could not name what caused it. The practical shift is not complicated. Slow your pace by 30% from what feels natural to you. Pay attention to her cues before you advance anything. Register what she is doing before you decide what to do next. She does not want you to take your time because she is shy or cautious or difficult. She wants it because it is the only way she knows you actually want her and not just the idea of her. She does not want you to slow down because she is shy. She wants it because it is how she knows you actually want her. 2. You treated it like a performance and forgot. There was someone watching you. The second thing that cost you more than you realize is that you treated the whole thing like a performance, and you forgot there was someone in the room watching you do it. Most foreign men approach this kind of moment like they are trying to accomplish something impressive. They are somewhere in their head evaluating how it is going, how they look, whether they are doing the right things. Bangkok women are not watching what you are doing. They are watching whether you are actually present. This city runs on showmanship. The nightlife circuit, the expat bars, the whole social world of Bangkok has been selecting for performance for decades. It rewards men who know how to look a certain way. What is genuinely scarce here is a man who is real in that moment, not executing, not performing, just there. A man who is performing is somewhere else in his head at the same time, and she can feel that distance even when she cannot articulate it afterward. It creates a specific kind of loneliness in the middle of something that should feel like the opposite of that. Presence without agenda is genuinely unusual in Bangkok, and she responds to it in a way she probably cannot fully explain. She was focused on whether you had actually looked at her in the last 10 minutes, not glanced. Looked, she can fake enthusiasm. She cannot fake presence. And she knows with precision when yours is missing. She can fake enthusiasm. She cannot fake presence, and she knows when yours is missing. 3. You never asked, and you confused. Silence with permission. The third mistake goes deeper than the first two, and I want you to take this one seriously. You never asked. You confused her silence with permission, and that assumption defined the entire night. Thai women and Bangkok women are no exception, regardless of how internationally experienced and city-shaped they are, were formed from childhood not to openly refuse or redirect. That is not something that disappears behind a closed door or changes because the man is foreign. Krang Jai, the deep cultural conditioning not to inconvenience or embarrass the person in front of you, operates even in the most intimate moments. She will not stop you loudly. She will not tell you directly that something is off or that she needs something different. She will go somewhere else inside her head, and you will be in the room alone without knowing it. One quiet question changes everything. Something as simple as, "Is this okay?" or "Do you want this?" or said even more simply with the way you pause and check her face. That moment breaks the loop she has been trained to stay inside. She stops managing the situation and starts actually experiencing it. The gap between those two states is not small. She smiled and let it happen. You read that as yes. She was thinking he does not notice me. Those are two completely different nights taking place in the same room at the same time, and only one of you was aware there was a difference. Asking does not reduce desire. In Bangkok, for most women, you asking is the first time any man ever did. That alone makes you different from every person who came before you in a way that no amount of confidence or technique ever could. Asking does not reduce desire. In Bangkok, for most women, it is the first time anyone ever did. Be honest with yourself right now. Have you walked away from a night thinking it went well and then never heard from her again? Have you sent a message the next day that she read and did not answer? The answer is almost always somewhere in these first 3 points. Before we continue, please subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any videos in the future. 4. You did not notice. When she checked out and kept going. The 4th mistake is one Bangkok women discuss with each other more than almost anything else, and you would be uncomfortable knowing how often it comes up. You did not notice when she checked out, and you kept going. Bangkok women are exceptionally skilled at maintaining the surface when they have already left internally. Years of navigating this city and this particular dating landscape and men who were not paying attention have made many of them expert at performing presence. You are not always seeing the real room. You are seeing what she has decided to show you while she is somewhere else entirely. She gives small signals when something shifts. A slight stillness in her body. A change in her breath. A fraction of a second of eye contact that drops and does not come back the way it should. The man who catches one of those signals and stops, pauses, checks in with her, that man has just separated himself from everyone before him without saying a single clever thing. She went quiet for 30 seconds. You did not register it. She made a decision in that moment, quietly and completely, that this was just another night to move through rather than something she would want to return to. She is not difficult to read. She just stopped expecting anyone to try reading her. Meet that expectation, and you will understand why Bangkok women remember certain men for years and forget others before they have left the room. She is not hard to read. She just stopped expecting anyone to try. 5. You disappeared. Right after. And destroyed. Everything that came before. The 5th mistake destroyed everything that came before it. And it happened in the 20 minutes after it was over. That window is more important than most men realize. It is when she makes her real decision about you. Bangkok dating culture has trained many women to expect that they will be treated like an experience with a clean and efficient ending. The man who does not provide that clean ending is memorable by contrast alone. The bar is low, which means the opportunity sitting in front of you in those 20 minutes is significant if you are willing to stay present for it. Her emotional guard is at its lowest point in those 20 minutes. What you do there tells her more about your actual character than everything that came before it. She was softer, more real, less managed. She was showing you something she does not extend to many people. You were already mentally elsewhere. You checked your phone or started thinking about what came next, or shifted into an energy that made it obvious you had already moved on inside your head. She noticed. She did not say anything. She just did not reply to your message the following day. and you probably spent time wondering what happened. The night does not end when you decide it is over. It ends when she feels like she mattered inside it. The night ends when she feels like she mattered, not when you are ready to leave. 6. You never made her feel like she was the one you actually wanted. The sixth and final thing is the one that would have changed everything else if you had understood it from the beginning. You never made her feel like she was the specific person you actually wanted. Generic desire is easy to produce and easy to forget. Bangkok women are surrounded by male attention. They are not impressed by it. They live inside it every time they leave their apartment and half the time when they are still inside it. What is genuinely rare and genuinely powerful is a man whose attention is visibly, specifically, unmistakably about the individual in front of him rather than about what she represents or what he wanted before she walked in. One honest observation costs you nothing. Something real about what you actually noticed about her in particular. The way she laughed at something earlier in the evening. Something specific she said that you actually retained and thought about. A detail about her that could not apply to anyone else in that building. That kind of observation creates a feeling she does not experience often, the feeling of being actually seen. Not appreciated for what she looks like, seen as a specific person. That feeling is something she will return to in her mind long after the evening is over, and it is something she will associate entirely with you. You told her she was beautiful. She has heard that 1,000 times this month. You could have said the specific thing you genuinely noticed about her specifically. You chose the generic version because it was easier. That gap between what you said and what you could have said is exactly the gap between a night she forgets and one she does not. I want to say one more thing before we finish, and it goes in both directions. Bangkok women carry responsibility inside this too. If she wants to be seen as more than an experience, she has to bring enough of herself into the room to be seen. The protective distance that makes sense after enough disappointment in this city is real and earned, but it is also a wall between her and the connection she says she is looking for. Open communication is not a practice that only runs one way. It is something both people have to choose. She has to give him something real to reach for. He has to reach. Both of those things have to happen or neither of them works. She does not want to feel desirable. She wants to feel desired by you, specifically. 6 things. None of them complicated. None of them requiring anything expensive or technically impressive. They require your attention. They require you to slow down enough to actually be present with another person rather than managing your way through the moment. Bangkok women do not expect perfection. They expect to be noticed. They expect to be asked. They expect you to still be there when the moment is over. The men who understand this are not the best looking or the most generous. They are simply the ones who were paying attention when most men were not. That is rarer here than you think, and it is something you can choose to be starting right now. Creating those videos is often stressful next to a full-time job. So if you enjoy watching my videos, then please support me by subscribing to my channel. It just shows the algorithm that you like these kinds of videos. See you in the next video.